Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about sustainable farming. It's kind of a strange topic, I guess, but I've been really interested in sustainable farming since freshman year of high school. We had an option to read a couple different books, and this is the one I chose, which I think it's backwards to you, but The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. In this book, he goes through three different types of meals. The first meal is one that he just went to McDonald's through a drive-through somewhere and bought a meal. So a typical American meal. The second one was a meal that he was sustainably farmed. It was, it was made with all the animals were brought up with, clean living environment and the right food they're supposed to have and all those things. And then the third meal was a meal that he hunted and gathered completely himself. So in the book, he goes through all these different meals, and it was really neat to see how each one got from the animal or the plants to the table. So that was really neat. And so the sustainable farming part of it really interested me. So sustainable farming basically is it's a type of farming where the plants and the animals and everything on the farm works together to grow and become what it's supposed to become naturally and the way it should. So animals are raised with no antibiotics, no hormones, none of those things that just kind of throw everything out of whack when we eat it. And then the plants and everything are raised the same way. So typical, I guess to explain, a typical farming, today's farming methods they're not like that, obviously. Animals are raised in, lots of animals are raised in small spaces, and so they don't get the space they need. They are fed food that they're not naturally supposed to eat. So they're fed food they're not supposed to naturally eat, as well as they're fed a ton of that food that they're not supposed to eat, so they grow as quickly as possible. So chickens is the main thing I think of. If you've ever seen food documentaries or just anything about the food industry, they always show the chicken farms where there's huge spaces full of chickens. You can't even see the ground. There's so many chickens. And they're just living in filth. And it's so unhappy, it seems. There's no way those animals are actually happy. So with sustainable farming, animals and the plants, they all work together. So for instance, one big example would be, chickens. Go back to chickens again. So you'll have a chicken coop that can be moved. That's one of the big, sustainable farming methods. So you have a chicken coop that can be moved. So you'll move this chicken coop around to different, places on the farm. And, the chickens are, eating the bugs they find. And then, they have a new set of land or a little space of land every day or week or however often you move them. And then, for lack of a better terms, they, poop everywhere, and they fertilize the land. So it just keeps building and building, they move, they fertilize, and they move, and it's just like a cycle. And so, you can do that with, all kinds of different animals. Cows are another way. If you, move cows to different fields, and they graze different spots and fertilize, where they are. Another big thing is the crops, all the plants and everything. Crop rotation, I guess, is the term. So in today's, typical farming methods that are not how it should be, in my opinion, people will grow crops in one field year after year, the same crop. And that crop sucks all that nutrients it needs out of the land, and then the land is useless. You can't grow anything else there because all the nutrients have been sucked out of it. And it could take years for those nutrients to be put back in the soil. So in sustainable farming, with crop rotation. You'll grow a crop in this field and then grow it in another field the next year. And then you'll grow something else in the first field. So you have to, like, different crops take different nutrients from the soil. So you have to, like, change out what you're growing there so you don't, like, completely kill the soil you have. So that's the crops and the animals, you know, working together. That's the main, like, idea of sustainable farming.